Well, it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's IndyCar night on iRacing. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Godson, and welcome to P1 Broadcasting coverage of Round 12 of Season 4 of 2024, the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split, coming to you from Kansas Speedway. Joining me in the booth, just two of us tonight, and my broadcast partner is Justin Pesciar. Justin, welcome to Kansas. You will be broadcasting with us tonight, then hopping on the virtual jet down to Pensacola to participate in the super late model race coming up. We'll talk about that later, but welcome to Kansas. Talk about Kansas.
Yes. Just, yes. No, serious though. It's a mile-and-a-half track, plenty of lanes to essentially go 3 wide. You can try 4 wide, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can do that in a stock car here, just not in an Indy car. But we're going to see some differing strategies from what I've heard as well as tested. Over the course of a run, you can get the right side tires down to the 50%, almost the 50% range. So we're going to see guys literally saving tires as best they can, especially when it comes to the dirty air. And it's about a 50 or so lap run. You can go on the tires, even for a fuel run. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, some of the races that I've seen, there's been 1 to 3 cautions, so that's not surprising here. But Kansas has always been known to be a little bit of a wild card, so to say.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
It comes to crazy racing.
A lot of drafting, a lot of multi-car incidents. There we see for Porty for just a second. He won in one of yesterday's races. The mailman delivered. Here's Antonio Estrada with 1:10 left for Porty to the top. 2:17.5. Tracy did second. Daniel Durazo, the cat, he is third. Jacob Collins, fourth. And Antonio Estrada just fifth now. He gets bumped down to sixth as Clindy goes provisionally fourth.
Not surprised on the speeds that we're seeing going down the straightaways here. But when we get into the somewhat packs, as I'll call them, as Brian Campbell goes to the top with a 25.269. Nice. We're going to see the speeds get a little bit higher, but you're going to see guys literally lifting up the throttle, maybe applying a little bit of the brake as well, just to make it through the corners. Over the run, though, from what I've heard from Matt Hollabaugh, is the bottom lane there going through the corners is not going to be the place to be, because you will get a pretty tremendous amount of understeer. To the point it's going to send your car up towards the wall, maybe even into another car, and all hell will break loose, so to say.
And watching Mark Murphy make his finish run here. Getting ready to wrap up qualifying here at Kansas Speedway. We will get you tonight's starting lineup here momentarily. Here are the points coming into today's race. And notice some names not in the lineup, particularly Brendan Trost. Our points leader by 245 points over Kyle Clinworth is opted not to, let's get that, Heather, there you go. He has opted not to make today's race. And actually, I still have the radio still going, so let me turn that off real quick.
Yeah, go, I guess.
And that's a result from using your machine for more than just broadcasting. Anyways, get back to what we're talking about. Trost is not in the lineup, but Clindy Campbell are fighting. They are only about 25 points between each other for second and third. Tracy did fourth. Pablo Diaz-Francis in his return back to the series, doing pretty well in fifth. Seb Alexander sixth. Tyquilla seventh. Robert Malechka eighth. Lichtenberg in ninth. And Mark Murphy, on the power of only, I think, 8 or 9 starts this season, is 10th in the points. So Mark is making them count there for the top 10. Let's get the points on out of here, and let's get tonight's starting lineup here from Kansas Speedway.
Let's do that. Let's get ready to go racing here in America's heartland of Kansas Speedway, so to say. On the pole tonight, it is Brian Campbell, too, with the speed qualifying time of 25.269. Starting next to him will be Adriano Forporti. Starting third will be Trey Shadid. Fourth will be Daniel Durazo. And rounding out the top 5, good friend of the show and fellow iRacing IndyCar Series competitor as well, Glendy, Mr. Kyle Glenworth. 6th will be Matthew Ponto. 7th will be PDF Paulo Diaz-Francis. 8th, Mark Murphy. 9th, Gonzalo Romero. And rounding out the top 10 will be Jake Collins. Gary.
Moving on back to the second half of the field, only 21 cars in today's lineup. El Patron, Antonio Estrada, is 11th. Bruno Ramonzini is 12th. Jim Wallen is 13th. Wes Weedman, 14th. Let me proceed the graphic here. There we go. Wes Weedman, 14th. Hollenball, who will be our in-car reporter, is 15th. Logan Edwards is 16th. Guillermo Miguel, and again, I really wish we had Luis Gonzalez Nunez here, because he would nail this name for me and make it sound so much better than I can. But Guillermo, he is 17th. Stephen Lee is 18th. Matt Taylor is going to come from the rear of the field in 19th. Daniel Ferguson is in 20th, and Richard Vasquez in the that Glidden entry that he always runs. He is 21st. That is your field.
Field lining up nice and tight here as they go through. And Mark Murphy is reminded you, Gary, he's old and slow. But green flag is out. Here we go. Oh, a little bit of tire spin. Already got cars jumping on the high side there as they go past the start-finish line going towards turn number 1. It was a good start there by Brian Campbell. But as we've seen in the past, just because you get a nice jump on the start or restart doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lead the first lap. Good side-by-side battles down as they head through 3 and 4 here to come in to complete the first lap. Even some more side-by-side battles, but now they're starting to get single file. Ooh, one car bounced off the wall, and a big stack up there as they come up for 4.
That's Weedman, I think, might have bounced off the wall. I'm not sure, and he went right to the bottom.
I think that was somebody else that bounced off the wall, and it was scattering.
All right.
So close there. So close on avoiding potential disaster.
Everyone's still using the apron. It is in play. It is Campbell and Clindy, the teammates 1 and 2 for Rogue Racing. Raporti 3rd, Shadid 4th, Pablo Diaz-Francis, PDF in 5th. Durazo Cat is 6th. Mark Murphy has already moved himself up to 7th. And here's a battle between Rogue Racing teammates as they go swap positions and move Clindy to the front.
Clindy with a very, very smart strategy by going up towards the front because he wants no part of what could possibly happen here in the back. As I'm seeing between near the back, so to say, a couple of good side-by-side battles. And oh, one car bouncing up the wall, I heard. I don't know who that was. I think it was either Gonzalo Romero. Yeah, it was Gonzalo Romero that bounced up the wall just a little bit up the turn 2. He saved it somehow from causing any more problems, but the handling is going to be a little bit off, and you kind of don't want that here at Kansas Speedway, especially in the draft.
Romero participated in this weekend's Open Wheels 5x3. Why going into 3? Matthew Ponto in the middle.
Ponto saw that and he's like, okay, I'm backing out of that. I'm going to lose not just 1 but 2 positions because of that. So far, clean and green. Knock on wood.
Ooh, Stephen Lee.
No, that was Wes Wyman that bounced off the wall. He's slow. Wes Wyman, I think he either bounced off the wall or he got loose. And he lost a good amount of speed there as they came off of turn 2. But he's gaining it back now, and he will lose. He will go from 10th down to 11th, and he's going to stay up on that high side. Now, that's usually the place you kind of want to be near the end of a run. I don't know if you want to be near it early on in the run, so to say. Especially because the wall will just suck you right up.
Miguel and Wallen battle back here for 16th and 17th. Everybody's still pretty close proximity. Let's move up. Here's a battle between Cat and Murph.
Mazza trying to find as much clean air as possible. He knows that Murphy is good, but he knows that he can pass him. I think we got a little bit of anger issues over the radio from what I'm hearing. Tracy did.
He's got PDF with him.
Oh boy!
And he's battling for Porty, and neither one of those guys lift for anybody.
No, they don't. Whoa! That was a Brazilian clear there by Forporti on Trace Shadid. Shadid's not going to be happy about that. Shadid gets a little too close to the wall. I think he lost a little bit of speed there. But here comes PDF. He's going to mount the charge back up on Trace Shadid. He wants to try and get around Trace Shadid. I don't know if he wants to try and piss him off, so to say.
Don't want to do that. So early in the race. Lap 10 of 70. Everybody joining us tonight, welcome. Happy early Thanksgiving. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. Light week this week. Only one race all week this week. This one right here. As everyone's enjoying the holiday week here in the United States.
Oh, I thought Shadid was about to lose it off of 4 there.
Currently riding.
This is almost giving me Nashville vibes off of turn 4, let alone turn 2.
Currently riding with PDF, or over his shoulder right now, as he's reeling in this battle in front of him between Forporti and Shadid for third. Right now in the process, though, those road racing guys are pulling away. And for first and second, they are just swapping the lead back and forth.
Caution.
Caution. Jim Wallen in the wall. And also Richard Vasquez.
Oh, Jim Wallen lost it off of turn 4 there. He got up in the dirty. He got up in the dirty air. The dirty line correction. Up in the tire marbles.
Yeah. And just got loose and then clips Vasquez. Vasquez goes into the wall, and Matt Taylor just squeaks by.
And unfortunately, that is I believe that's a Tony Stewart scheme that's been wrecked in Richard Vasquez.
Yeah, that is the old Menard scheme there. So we'll see if pace car now collecting the field. And we'll see if anybody comes to pit road. And then we will quickly jump into our in-car reporter, Matt Hollenball. We don't want to interrupt anybody when they're coming to pit road, so we'll see if he comes to pit road. Looks like Roman Zini might be coming to pit road. He's down on the apron. You know that he's down there for maximum fuel save. Here they come. And no for Roman Zini, but good thing we held off on bringing Hollenball up. He is coming to pit road for would be his first scheduled stop of the race.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is wait until after he's past the pit exit code.
Yeah, let's make sure that he is back out on the racetrack safely before we bring up the driver of the OMF Dallara. And he is down and away. So he's going to be good for about another 60 laps. So we'll ask him if he's going to stop again. We'll go ahead and bring him on up. Here he is right here in the booth. Just made a pit stop. Is Matt Hollenball. Matt, are we going to make it on that one stop, or are we going to be a little short, or we got a massive fuel save in front of us?
I think we got a pretty massive fuel save in front of us. I feel like a lot of the drivers probably aren't ready for it, and I feel like a lot of us, especially the leaders, are probably going to be making extra stops. But like, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to try and make it with no more green flag stops.
All right, so he's rolling the dice really early here at Kansas at lap 15.
Pablo has a penalty.
Oh, speeding on pit road. So the number one car has to make a trip down pit road for a penalty coming off pit road.
This might be good for him, though. He might top it off.
Yeah, that might as well. Wait a minute, he's back up on the racetrack.
Oh, I'm also noticing Jeremy Miguel, Stephen Lee, Matthew Ponto, as well as Matt Taylor having the meatball flag.
All right, Matt.
Well, good luck up in the booth.
Yeah, good luck to you on the racetrack. We're getting ready to go green here shortly. We'll be watching and monitoring you as you got this insane gamble in front of you. But if it pays off, I think it's going to pay off big for you. So best of luck.
Yeah.
We'll catch you either at
the only one.
We'll catch you either at the end of the race or at the next caution.
Go, thanks.
Yeah. Put him back down into the waiting area so he can focus in on this restart. As we are getting ready to go back to green at lap 16 right now, and we will serve lap 17 as everyone is now kind of up against the wall, assuming the position, so to speak. Coming to green, it's going to be Trace, going to be Mark, going to be Gonzalo. Weedman, who smacked the wall earlier, is recovered to 4th, and Romanzini top 5. That is going to be your coming to the restart here.
Pace car pulls off, field starts stacking it up just a bit. You know, you do not want to stack it up too much. Green flag back in the air, and Trace did with another fantastic start here as they head off towards turn number 1. Gary?
I'm just watching them all go in right now. They are being pretty well behaved and separated. The top 5, top 6, each all have some pretty decent space between them, all heading down the backstretch. Here's Murph. He's not letting Trace, his old teammate, get away any bit. He's sticking right there, but here comes Gonzalo Romero on the high side.
Gonzalo Romero with a good run on the high side there. Almost gets squeezed up into the wall there by Mark Murphy. He gets caught in the dirty air by Trace Shadid. Has to back it off and run up on the high side there as they come off of turn number 2. Gonzalo Romero with another fantastic run going down towards turn number 3. He gets cut off again by Trace Shadid.
Oh, dirty air.
So much.
Dirty
gets
air.
Caught up. Gets the door slammed on him. Gets thrown dirty air. Has to back out of it. Mark Murphy will make the pass back into P2.
Both to the high side as Trace goes to the middle lane.
Don't look now, but here comes Wes Weidman. He is sitting right there in the back. He's watching what's going on in front of him. He's running that high line. He doesn't want to get close to that wall and get up into all that dirt, dust, marbles, you name it there. Like what happened with Jim Wallen as they came off of turn 4 to bring out the first caution. So far, so good now. There is a bit of a gap, though, between Wes Weidman and Bruno Romanzini, but Romanzini right now is in the crossfires of Brian Campbell as well as Glenworth and Adriano Paporti as well. But right now, it's going to be it's interesting to see the differing strategies on where you want to put your car.
Yeah,
to
it
find
is.
as much clean air.
Yeah, it is. Everyone's kind of up high, down low, in the middle. You talked about it in the right before we were starting the race. There are multiple lines here that you can safely and quickly run. And there goes Campbell around Romanzini, move him up to another position for our pole setter. Track record here, IndyCar track record, been real life set by Thomas Scheckter with a speed of 218.5. The career IndyCar wins leaders here in real life are Dan Weldon and Scott Dixon, each with 2. It's been a while since IndyCar has been here. Car sideways off the wall, and we got a car in the wall. That is Antonio Estrada, and I think he might have been helped.
I think, unlike you, I think he might have been helped as well. Yes, he was. There was a little help from PDF. But that was all on Estrada, though, because he got a little too close to that wall on the outside there and lost so much. He lost all control there.
No, it didn't look like he had any help, but PDF might have lost a front wing, and it snaps back into place. But unfortunately, it might be day done for Antonio, although his wheels snap back into place. So he just needs to cool those tires off and recover now. Now he's on pit road. Same for Matt Taylor, also on pit road. I think you said he had a meatball.
Yeah, meatball. There was a meatball for Matt Taylor. Antonio Estrada got the meatball. Jeremy Miguel got the meatball, as well as Stephen Lee and Matthew Ponto. So not a very good start to the race for each of those drivers, especially on Thanksgiving week. They're not going to be thankful for this one, that's for sure. And of course, we can now list Matthew Ponto as a DNF, so the damage was too great. do you say, Gary? Want to go give the people that are watching a taste of the sounds of speed?
Yeah, let's get in a little static here, TV static shots, and get you up close and personal.
Enjoy the sounds of speed, folks.
And again, everybody, thanks for joining us. This is P1's coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series. Tuesday night top split coming to you from Kansas. We've completed now 29 of a scheduled 70 laps. If you're enjoying tonight's coverage, like to monetarily support us, please find the link to our GoFundMe campaign in the stream description. We realize times are tough, so any donation, no matter the amount, is greatly appreciated. Coming up to the halfway point very quickly here with only one caution so far.
Yeah, it's such fantastic racing, and I'm just going to be honest, I love it when we go to the sounds of speed shots, just seeing the cars just blaze by at top speed. Oh, it's a magical feeling to behold. I will say this, though, compared to this week compared to last week, it's going to be easier to pick out the cars compared to what we saw at Rockingham in the speed shots that we had. Where it was just like, our cameras were having such a hard time essentially staying with the pack.
Watching a battle here between PDF and Cat. They are now side by side.
Cat running that bottom there, trying to get a good run on PDF. He gets just a tad bit of it, but that's a slide back in to try and...
Yeah, problem is PDF's in the draft of Collins in front of him.
He kind of is in the draft, but he's not in the draft, so to say.
Let's take a look at Collins' cars. No longer the plain white wrapper. Sporting a little bit of the Votive Racing League, which will also be on P1 here in a couple weeks for their round 1 of Season 2. And so yeah, they are sponsoring some of the Rogue Racing cars.
And it looks like Cat pretty much had to back out of it completely now just to try and see if he could get around PDF.
Cool those tires off and reset.
Yeah.
Shadid, Murphy, Weeb, and Romero have not stopped. Neither has Roman Zini, so they still will have to stop to get to the finish. Clindy, Campbell, Fraporti, Collins, PDF, Durazo, Edwards, Hollenball, they all stopped at lap 15. Jim Wallen as well. He stopped at lap 15 as well. I think he was involved in an earlier wreck, so he's got some new parts on the car there. You see him. But they are going to be the big fuel save, try to get to the end.
Back to PDF here. Here comes Daniel Durazo, a.k.a. Cat.
And he got it this time.
Yeah, yep. He got it.
Cooled those tires off and just waited his turn and made it happen.
I think also PDF had a little bit of a moment coming off of turn 2. Oh yeah, he's definitely struggling just a little bit there off of turn 2. That's gonna be the one. That's gonna be the trouble spot to watch as the race goes on here. Talking about the tire wear and stuff, I'm looking at the current weather stats right now. Even though it's 78 degrees, the track temp is 113 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's kind of sketchy, but it's not. It's not like some of the other ones, the other hot temperatures that we've seen over the past two seasons.
Yeah.
What was it in Atlanta? We almost hit like 140 degrees track temperature.
Yeah, it was insane down in Atlanta.
And I know someone say, well, that's typical for Atlanta, but when it comes to these cars here, oh, boy.
Well, let's get back up to the front where we now have a battle brewing now as Weidman has inserted himself in the middle between Shadid and Murphy as kind of three of some of the more older drivers in the lineup. Oh, Weidman getting a little bit of a wash there. And on the outside, Murph to the outside gets the position back. But these are some of the three of the more senior seasoned drivers. They've been in iRacing for a long time. Many IndyCar starts. Many wins. And they're battling up front. Trey Shadid. Normally he's the plate track whisperer, but he is doing pretty good staying out right now. He still needs to make a stop to get to the end. Mark Murphy is second. Mark hot off a top 15 at the Open Wheels 500 this weekend.
And if you haven't done so already, I would suggest checking out that race. From what I've heard, and I'm going to catch up later on, is it was a pretty wild race, especially near the end. But that is, of course, tradition for the Open Wheels 500. It's so good to have that race back on the service. Not just the iRacing Indy 500, as well as the iRacing IndyCar Series, but also the Open Wheels 500.
And we're actually not too far away from hearing what the special events calendar for 2025 will be. So stay tuned with that. We do expect some pretty expanded coverage here on the channel for the fixed and open Indy 500s when those weekends are announced. There we see Stephen Lee recovering right now, coming off of pit road, just making some laps, trying to make a position or so, but staying out of everyone's way at the moment.
Yeah, not the best race week so far for Stephen Lee there.
Yeah, he'll definitely want to audit this race out. But now
not just audit this race out. Not just audit this race out.
Forget
but
it.
Wipe it from his mind.
Wipe it completely. Three-way battle for the lead still. It is Trace. It is Mark. It is Wes. And just a little bit behind him is Gonzalo Romero. Gonzo back there in fourth. And he's going to try to reel these guys in. But all these guys need to stop to make it to the finish.
Yeah, Trace did down the backstretch, signaled he was going in. So move for now. Mark Murphy up to the lead with Wes Weidman in second and Gonzalo Romero in third. And a considerable gap from third to fourth for Brian Campbell there.
I think they're saving.
Well, Murphy's going in. Murphy is going in as well as Wes Weidman.
Mark had to pump the brakes twice there. He had three puffs of smoke, once before and two after the line.
Yeah, he was slowing down as hard as he could, but he also didn't want to lock the tires up, and he did just a tad bit there because he did not want to get popped for a speeding penalty.
A good angle there on pit road. There we go. So Romero now picks up the lead, but he still needs to stop along with Roman Zini. So the Spaniard and the Brazilian are gambling on going long. Although here comes Brian Campbell with Clindy. This is a battle for now second, but Romazzini still have to stop. But I think Campbell and Clindy are trying the fuel save.
I wouldn't be surprised if they are.
Take a look at last lap miles per hour. Oh, yeah. 207 for Campbell. Romero, 211. Romanzini, 211. So they're full rich. They're full hot. Clindy, 206. For 204. Collins, 206. Durazo, 205. PDF, 207. Okay, and clearly, look at this screen right here. Everybody from here on down is in some sort of fuel save. Look at those speeds.
Oh, yeah.
So Murph, now we go back and Murph and Shadid, they'd stopped, and Weidman, they stopped, so they're back to full rich. So this is going to be interesting.
This time around, we should, two more times around, we should be coming to, no, three more times around, correction. We'll be coming to 20 to go, so it's going to be interesting to see who goes in and essentially tries to get probably either a full stop, 4 fresh Firestones, and probably a full tank of gas.
No, I don't think it'll be a full tank of gas. It'll be just enough to get to the finish.
You'd be surprised on what some people can do.
Right.
But with how long it takes to get 4 tires changed all at once, as well as filling it up with fuel, some people just say, "Yeah, go for it."
Yeah, it's about 5 seconds to get 4 tires on these single lug, impact lug rims of these cars. So it's not like they have to hit multiple lug nuts to put these tires on. It's just one on, one off. And so they can change it pretty quickly with the pneumatic jacks that are underneath these cars. They'll come into the pit, they'll stick in a hose that will cause the jacks to extend underneath the cars, lift it up in the air just enough so they can remove the tires, put a new set on, and in that time frame, it should be just enough fuel to get to the finish while they're putting on those new sets of tires. The major downfall to the way that these cars are fueled versus kind of what you see, what you used to see in Formula One. They don't fuel anymore. But Formula One used to have pressurized fuel tanks. They used to have pressurized fuel delivery. IndyCar has gravity-fed fuel delivery, so it'll have to come in from the weight of the fuel itself down the tube into the tank in order to fill those tanks to the level they need to. So sometimes that is the longest part of an IndyCar pit stop, is waiting for that gravity-fed fuel tank to get all the fuel it needs.
And I do remember years ago in the final season of Champ Car, they tried pressurized fuel, and a number of times it just didn't work. It would either work, it would fill, or half fill, or just not completely fill at all. Like it wouldn't even work. And I think that's when they realized gravity-fed systems.
Oh, Romero spinning out, coming to pit road in the grass. This is going to be opportunity done for him, unfortunately. He might even get a black flag out of this, so that's going to put Clindy and Campbell to the front.
Yep, that's a black flag there for Gonzalo Romero. Unsafe pit entry.
Get back the intervals here. Now, the problem with Shadid and Murphy, they can go full rich, but they are a lap down. And there you see Trace Shadid coming behind the leaders, and the leaders going down to the apron, and that's more of a kind of, it's a twofold thing. There's A, staying out of the way, because they know there's a faster car coming. They should see this on the relative. And B, it is a shorter distance around, so they're actually saving fuel by going down that low.
Now they can get away with it here on iRacing. They could not do it in real life.
And there is Mark. He's right there with him. Here is Weedman. So they all pitted on lap 44-45 right in there. And they're trying to get around the leaders to get to the tail end of the lead lap. So they're going to get around Clindy. Weedman's going to swap to the inside. Almost like Campbell was lending a little bit of the draft to Weedman. Again, staying down low, staying out of the way, down to the apron. Now put them at the tail end of the lead lap. But your leader is right here. Faporti is third. Faporti won the top split in yesterday's race as the week started. Jacob Collins is fourth. So Rogue Racing, 3 of the top 4 right now. Cat is fifth. Logan Edwards very quietly has moved his way 10 spots improved up to 6th. Hollenball also on the fuel save is 7th. Jim Wallen, who had to get a new nose as part of that first caution, he is now 8th. PDF now, the lone Necky car in the running here for the win. He's 9th, the number 1 car in today's race. And Daniel Ferguson is in 10th.
And I believe Daniel Ferguson is the biggest mover of the race. Started 20th, and he's currently sitting 10th right now.
Yeah, we got 2 up 10. Logan Edwards and Ferguson. Fergie's also up 10. And then right behind them, about a half a lap, is Shadid, Murphy, and Weedman trying to run down those leaders. But they are running full rich right now, so they don't have to worry about mileage. And then you see 12 to go here at Kansas. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to hit that thumbs up if you don't mind. Subscribe to the channel.
Now,
and above all, donate if you can.
Now, what I think Murph and them are hoping for is another caution. That way they can catch back up. But at this point, with how spread out the field is, I don't think we're going to get it.
Next race for us on the channel will be this Sunday. The Votive Racing League for their IndyCar, their Indy Oval Series. Season 2, they have a Texas exhibition race, recruiting race. And you can find their past races here on our channel. Just go to our playlist. You'll find their Season 1. And actually inside of those Season 1 descriptions, you can find a link to their Discord. And you can sign up for their Discord and their Season 2 coming up. And then starting Monday, December 2nd, the ISRA, the ex-Lionheart guys, they will be racing their first round at Homestead of their IndyCar season at 9:35 on Monday. And then next Tuesday will be Meme Tuesday, doubleheader Tuesday, week 13 here in the IndyCar Oval Series as we move to the iRacing Superspeedway for the first time, as we will do a doubleheader to decide the champion. Who will it be? That is all next week. And then also next week, you can join me and Luis Gonzalez Nunez on Thursday at 7:45 p.m. on the Elite Racing Network for Championship Thursday of their Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series, as we will crown a champion for their 2024 B IndyCar season. Back up to the front, it is Campbell, it is Clindy trying to make the mileage work with 7 to go.
They have about a 2 or so second, almost a 3-second gap between them and third place of Adriano Fraporti. Then it's another 2 seconds between Adriano Fraporti and Cat, Daniel Durazo.
Now, when do these two decide that they're going to race? Right now, they've helped each other all race long. When does the cooperation end and the attacking begin? Or it might just be that they are so close on fuel that Clindy might have no choice but just to follow suit.
That'll be interesting to hear post-race.
Jacob Collins and Jim Wallen in a battle back here for 7th. I think Wallen might have smacked the wall a little bit. Collins going to get on by. Weidman and Murphy now battling. They're side by side. 5 to go. I think it's going to run out of time for those guys. They need a caution now, and if it happens any later, I think we're looking at an official race. But it is Clindy. It is Campbell, your leader. Clindy 2nd, Fraporti 3rd. Hollenball with the fuel save and running the high line. He has now worked his way up to 4th. Durazo is 5th. Logan Edwards 6th. Wallen 7th. Collins 8th. PDF 9th. Ferguson in 10th. 4 to go. Massive fuel save still happening with these leaders that stopped at lap 15. Can they bring it home? Now they're side by side. Here's the racing's beginning right now with 4 to go.
This could come down to a photo finish, though, between these two.
Let's take a look at last laps as they're just now. Again, look at those speeds. They are definitely governing themselves a little bit. But Clindy 2:08 that time. Wallen 2:09 as those guys are the fastest in the top 10 at the moment.
Now the car that's behind them coming off of turn 4 there, Bruno Romanzini, he is not going to be in this fight, so to say. He is 14th, 1 lap down. So he wants to try and get by the first and second here of Brian Campbell and Kyle Clenworth to essentially finish on the lead lap. But I don't think he's got time.
Campbell 2 to go, gets the lead back. Actually, Campbell will be in the booth with me this Sunday at 1 o'clock for that votive exhibition race. So we'll probably be talking this race with him as he's now the leader with the white flag all the way through 2. He's clear to 2, down to the bottom, trying to break the draft from his teammate Clindy. It looks like fun time is over between teammates as he's coming to 3 and 4. Clindy, I don't think is going to have enough. He's going to try to make a run on the high side, but give the win to Brian Campbell, and that's going to help in the points. Clindy 2nd, and Hollenball makes his way to 3rd with the massive fuel save. We'll bring him back up into the booth and have him talk for a while, but his first podium here on the program. What a race by those that saved this fuel, my goodness.
Yeah, perfect pit strategy there. Perfect pit strategy, perfect fuel save strategy, and everything. And for once, Campbell was not blinking like a Christmas tree.
Campbell with the fuel save win. Clindy second. Matt Hollenball coming home in third. For Porty, a good week for him. Won a race yesterday, coming home for a top 5 today. It's fourth. Cat is fifth. Logan Edwards sixth. Jim Wallen recovering from the incident, the first caution. And a new nose comes home seventh. Pablo Diaz-Francis eighth. Jacob Collins ninth. And Daniel Ferguson in 10th. Moving on, Mark Murphy 11th. Weedman 12th, Shadid 13th. Those are the guys that chose not to pit on lap 15. That might have cost them a little bit. Roman Zini 14th. Romero, who was among those leaders that decided not to pit, unfortunately had a bit of an issue coming to pit road. 15th. Vasquez involved in an incident in 16th. Estrada involved in an incident 17th. Stephen Lee 18th. Miguel 19th. Matt Taylor in 20th. And Matthew Ponto, and that very vintage livery of his, he is 21st.
Heck of a race. One heck of a race. What do you say? Let's find out who. Besides Matt Hollenball, let's see.
Let's get some replays queued up here. That's what we're doing, and we'll. All right. And we'll bring him on up. And here he is, Matt Hollenball, back in the booth with us again. It paid off. It paid off.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
How hard, first of all, how hard was it? How much lifting was there? And then we noticed that you were kind of in the bottom portion of the top 10 and made its way to the mid portion of the top 10, the mid top 10, and then you're fighting for a podium there at the end. Was it that you managed to save more than everyone else, and then you really just outraced them, or was everyone maybe miscalculated, and that's how you're moving your way up through? Talk about that, bringing the car home.
So I feel like saying miscalculated is a bit tough on the people that made pit stops, because like they were fast, like they made it back onto the lead lap. The thing is, I think it was a gamble. Like like Vegas F1 was in Vegas last night, so kind of brought an element of that here. Yeah, it was. So I knew 56 laps was possible, and that's about how much we had to from that restart. Yeah, but the tire wear was a big monkey wrench there that I had to consider, and thankfully it paid off. It was very difficult, to answer your question about how difficult it was. I ran out into turn one. On the cool down lap.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's you did everything you needed to do, get to the finish. So congratulations. And it's you talked about it when we brought you up in the booth for the caution lap. You were like, it's going to be a challenge, but you did actually give us a little intel before the race, and you did warn us that you told us how long these runs could be if you could really save, and you do the math from about lap 15, it's about 56 to the end.
So in my team Discord, I actually have like a chart of like various miles per gallon numbers that I need to hit to go to different lap counts at a full tank. I'm an autistic man. Let's just put it that way.
Well, congratulations, and a great fuel save getting this podium. I believe it's your first time on the program. I thought we had you up here once before, but still, getting that OMF car home from where you restarted to where you finished is a great finish. So congrats. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. Anyone say hi to before we let you go?
I just want to say hi to Mike Hurley, who was watching on the broadcast. He congratulated me on the podium in a different Discord pretty much immediately. So I just want to say thanks, Mike. I was a good friend. Yeah, again, you already said OMF. Evan Adams, and Mitch Welker, and like everyone else that's a part of my team. Yeah, Doug South. He's the reason OMF's on the car. Yeah.
Well, shout out to all those guys as well, as we know them pretty well. We know Mad Mike, so from the Formula Indy series, he's always up on the booth for Mitch's car. But congrats, man! Good to have you here finally, and appreciate you also sticking around, willing to come up in the booth for the cautions. But P3 here at Kansas, a good way to bring in Thanksgiving week.
Oh yeah, I'm thankful for that. Y'all take care, guys.
Take care. And there we go. Great finish for him. And I do recommend everyone to learn more about OMF. That's a condition that Doug South has, and they sponsor OMF is the foundation which helps do the research for the condition that he has. So I recommend everyone to Google that up and learn a little bit more about it. All those guys that he talked about are all big supporters of the IndyCar community. Let's bring in Clindy and bring him on up. Hey, Clindy, welcome back to the bottom for the second step of the podium here. When did the gloves finally come off between you and Brian that you decided you're going to race that one out?
Well, I had less fuel than him, Gary, because I stupidly thought that I could keep up with that front pack who was going to pit under green, and that way Ryan and I could run away from Adriano and everyone else and just really cruise to a 1-2, and I burned up probably half a gallon too much of fuel there.
Ooh.
So Ryan was gracious enough to let me wait behind him, but that also meant I had dirty air. So he could hit just exactly his number running the bottom, and then I gave myself as much clean air as I could afford while still hitting my number in lane 2. But running lane 2 plus half a wing of dirty air just burned up my right sides. So I pushed one lap early, I think. And then when I looked at the number, I saw I was going to run out of turn 4, and then I had to switch back to full save mode, and that's when he got me. So I should have just pushed and maybe thrown a block or something, but I wanted to secure the first Rogue Racing 1-2 and not throw it away being greedy. So, you know, I just... Team phrase is back it up, and I just had to back it up.
Well, that actually then almost, I'm going to guess, there's only 25 points between you two in the standings. That should make that gap a little bit tighter going into a truly unpredictable race next week at iRacing Superspeedway.
Yeah, it's going to be a winner takes silver finale next week. It could be on Monday night, but it'll probably be on Tuesday during the doubleheader. So I wish the best of luck to my teammate Ryan. He's put together a really amazing season. If he could have a little bit of my traffic navigation / long run tire save, and I could have a little bit of his Q, we would both be unstoppable. But unfortunately, we are assembled as we are, incomplete and imperfect. So, you know, you take what you get and you work to get sharper and better where you can. And this season has been really, really good for us. So very happy to get a second place today. And again, have him get the gold medal, and hopefully we get silver and bronze next week. And I selfishly really want the silver, but you know, I'm not going to do anything outlandish for it.
Well, and of course it is going to be a bit of an outlandish race at iRacing Superspeedway. Any other shout outs you want to make before we let you go?
Yes, absolutely. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got a couple of new sponsors on my car. First and foremost is the Votive Racing League, which will start Season 2 in January of 2025, and we have 2 upcoming Showcase Showdown special races coming up in the month of December, which will both be on P1 Broadcasting. So if you want to get in that league, it is free to join. It runs Wednesday evenings, America time. So I think it's either an 8:30 Eastern or a 7:30 Eastern start. But I can get you in the Discord. I can get you signed up. It is free to enter. Show up on Wednesday nights. Try to beat the best of the best of them, myself included, and some other wonderful racing talent. Also, P1 Broadcasting, always. Thanks for having us on.
No problem.
And then Segerman Farms, my family, my cousin threw me his logo to put on my car. First time I've been on the podium with it on the car. It's only been on the car since Rockingham. Just threw that one away. So I guess I threw away Michigan too, running into the back of the Necky cars. But, we've kissed, we've made up. Hugs and kisses over there to Pablo and all of them in Spain and Germany. And then also to all my friends and family who tune in every week, I'm happy to represent everything about my family on the racetrack and try to, make you proud and entertain you on Tuesday nights and hopefully next season on Wednesday nights in the Votive Racing League. So thanks again, Gary, for having us, and go ahead and pull that winner up here and see if he was going to do anything dirty if I blocked him.
Well, and a happy Thanksgiving to you. We will see you in a week. I know you and I will talk before then, but we will see you in a week at iRacing Superspeedway. So go celebrate. Best of luck for the rest of the week, because I know this isn't your only race. You race all week long, and we'll catch you at the next one.
Thanks, Gary. Bye.
Yeah. And let's bring up now our winner, Ryan Campbell. And here's my who's going to be my co-host with me for this Sunday's race, the Votive Exhibition race at Texas. Winner today. Let's see. You got the win. You got the pole. I think you led the most laps. And I'm not sure if who got the fastest lap, but
it was
overall,
not me. I know it wasn't me.
Well, for the entire second half of the race, or maybe 3/4 of the race, you guys were really fuel saving. So let's talk about that. How hard is the fuel save? Was it just dialing it down? Was it lifted a little bit more? Was it running at 80% throttle? What is fuel save to you?
So for me, it was actually pretty easy. Once I saw there was a big group of cars in front of us, the draft always helps with that.
Mm-hmm.
And Kansas, a lot of people wanted to run the top, but I kind of knew with the clean air it would give me, I could run the bottom and just have race such less distance around the track. And that would save me a lot of time. And actually, I think that's what got me around my teammate Clendy at the end. I'm not sure if he said that to you guys or what he thinks, but I think that's what got me a little bit more fuel save. I was just running less of the track, and then with these cars it really likes being in the lowest gear possible and the highest RPM. It's just the most efficient way for the motor, and just trying to stay in fourth gear for as long as possible and racing the least amount of track possible is my ideal fuel saving around here this week.
Well, how is the tire wear running the bottom? That's what we've heard for a lot of people, is that tire wear was also playing a role here. But I guess with lower speeds, the tire wear running the bottom isn't as impactful.
I was actually surprised. My teammates had a lot of tire wear, even with fuel saving. This track, the setup, in just this weather combination, it's really hurtful with dirty air. So if you can find clean air, you will have about a 20% extra tires at the end versus anybody else, and that's really no matter what speed you go. The bottom is actually will save tires if you're in clean air. If you're in dirty air, there's not that much you can do to save tires here, I feel, and you have to get your wheel, you have to be pretty much straight on the exit of 2 or it'll want to just loop you. So it's the tire wear in dirty air is really bad, but if you can find clean air this week, you can really capitalize on it.
Well, another win here on the top split. I think this is, let's see, Gateway and here. Yep. Do we have a third win that I'm missing?
No, it's win number 2, my first win, where I'm not blinking for the race.
Yeah, that was mentioned in the broadcast, is that you're not blinking. Do we have a new internet connection?
No, I don't know what happened. Verizon's magically better. The fiber optic in my neighborhood that I plan to upgrade to just got switched on. The salesman came to my house yesterday.
Wow.
So maybe Verizon's trying to step up their game because they know I'm going to be making the switch. But no, today I was on its good side today, I guess.
Any other shout outs before we let you go?
Just Rogue Racing. I think they're the ones who kind of talked me into the strategy call. Me and Clendy were talking the fuel number under that caution and convinced ourselves to take the risk. So all those guys, Ty, I know you're watching. He was sending us support from his job. So thank you, everything, Ty, Clendy, Jacob, and Tony.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win. Good to have you here. And then we will see you later this week, actually start of next week, Sunday, for the Votive exhibition race at Texas. So good to have you for that one. But go enjoy the win in the meantime.
Thank you. And I can't wait for Sunday. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, you got it, man. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you again for the broadcast.
No problem.
Bye.
Justin, I thought it was a pretty good race. A bit of a different run. Sometimes here at Kansas, we see it's just kind of a draft race, kind of a pack race. I think conditions made that a little impossible today. And then with the way that first caution fell, it threw up the strategy B of coming in and pitting and fuel saving for then at that point, about 3/4 of a race.
Yeah, like you said, I'll agree with you on that one, but I'm not surprised by what we had witnessed here at Kansas, because it's been known to be, it doesn't matter if it's a day race or a night race, it's not just a tire management race, but it's also a fuel management race. And if you can play your cards right on the pit strategy, 9 times out of 10, what we saw with Campbell and them will always come out as the better option to go with. But I will not be here, unfortunately, though, next week for the meme race, so to say. I might pop in for the podcast, but as far as being a part of the broadcast booth, I'm not going to be there for that one. A, because I don't own the track, and B, I kind of don't want to own the track at the same time.
Oh, come on. Come on. Oh.
But I am looking forward to when we do come back, though, 2 weeks after the season finale, though, at iRacing Superspeedway, or as we jokingly call it in the community, Redacted Superspeedway.
Right. And then, so, of course, that will be, let's see, what is that? Iowa. I think we're starting off season 1 of 2025. Week 1 is Iowa, I believe. That's December 10th. So we will catch you next then. But, again, thanks, as always, for being here. We're going to wrap it up here at Kansas Speedway, as we had a pretty entertaining race tonight with the different strategies. Not a lot of cautions. Everyone did a great job, but your podium here is Matt Hollenball with a great run to come home third. Clindy, and just coming up a little bit short on fuel, but decides to park it, gets second behind his teammate, and his teammate Brian Campbell gets the win, and it's going to be a battle for the silver medal next week at the iRacing Superspeedway doubleheader. So that is your podium here tonight. Join us again next week for a very special Championship Tuesday doubleheader, as we will decide the championship on the fastest speedway on iRacing, the huge 3-mile iRacing Superspeedway for round 13 of Season 4 2024 of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split. Coverage begins around 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's 7:15 p.m. Eastern. As always, for the correct time in your area, you can find everything on YouTube right here on youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, and they're not easy, require time and money to produce. Because of your generosity and donations, we've been able to bring you IndyCar Oval action nearly sponsor-free. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2024 broadcast fund. Hey, 'tis the season, right? We realize times are tough, though, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching and make us part of your Tuesday evenings each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought on tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of P1 other iRacing programming, including Round 1 of the ISRA Open Wheel Series from Homestead on Monday, December 2nd at 9:35 p.m. Remember, those are all ex-Lionheart guys, so if you enjoyed watching Lionheart back in the day, you'll definitely want to check out the ISRA. That will be Monday, December 2nd, 9:35, Round 1, me and LGN at Homestead. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter and Instagram. The links are in the description. So, for Justin Petschauer, everyone here at P1, I'm Gary Gatto saying all good night and thanks for watching. And all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again next week for Championship Tuesday for a meme race doubleheader at the iRacing Superspeedway for the next race of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split on P1. Good night and happy Thanksgiving.